doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
Rock and Rollin' Candy Girl is in the building. What's happening?
Go.
You send lollipop emojis to respond to people. Usually people you leave a heart emoji when they respond. You leave a lollipop emoji, which goes towards your name, Candy Girl. Where did the name Candy Girl come from?
Exactly. That's definitely my emoji. And so backstory behind my name. When I was in junior high school, I started selling candy to make money to go to the studio, right? So my mom, she would take me, we'd go up to the stores, we'd find the deals. There used to be really good deals, like 25-cent candy bars. So I would spend a little bit of money on that, sell them for $1. I would even sell bubble gum. And I was doing music at that time because I started really young. And then by the time I got into I was 10th grade, they started calling me Candy Girl.
Legendary.
So went to Roseville High School, and in between classes, when the bell rings, I'd be posted up with my box of candy, and they're like, Candy Girl, what you got today? And I'm like, I got this. And so I actually earned my name.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the background.
So candy has nothing to do with cocaine. I got you.
Absolutely not.
That would be a good name for a drug dealer that sells cocaine. I am a Candy Girl.
It is the real deal, actual candy selling. Yeah.
Talk about where you're from.
All right, so I grew up in Roseville, went to Roseville schools my whole life. So East Side.
Right. I know you dropped one of your first projects while you were in school, right?
I did. So it was One Mic, One Girl, One Dream mixtape. And I did get a lot of support from the school. They shouted me out on the announcements.
Dope.
They gave me a microphone at lunchtime and let me stand on the tables and rap.
That's dope.
And it's just a really cool experience. So when it comes to like, you know how everyone has a little bit of a story? I definitely have a story, and I'm still, on my way, and it's very interesting, and I just love sharing it with people.
What was your influence at that time to break out into making music, even just jumping on the lunch table? Like, where was it all coming from?
So I actually started writing music when I was 9. So it started in elementary. I started with poetry and then love songs. I grew up listening to Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Boyz II Men, lots of R&B. That was a big influence for me. And then when I was 13, I realized, man, I can rap. And so I went to school one day, and I was in my choir class, and I just busted out with a Twister rap. And they're like, oh my gosh. And they wanted more. And I was like, okay. And that's why I started rapping and singing. But as far as like influencing, it's how I get my emotions out. It's a way to express myself. It's an outlet. I really believe I was born to do this.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So when you're making music in school and you're getting inspired by that and you're actually dropping a project and everything like that, what's your next step as far as like getting more people to hear you outside of school?
When I was in high school? So flyers.
Really? What are the flyers for? You did your own shows and stuff?
Yeah, they actually, I don't want to say too much, but I started doing shows when I was like 15. I was doing probably 3-4 shows a week.
Really?
I was 16. I joined with shout out Jigsaw and SSP, and he's doing film now, but he used to be heavy on the music. But I joined with Jigsaw. I was 16 years old, and so my mom was very supportive. My family was supportive, and it was fun. We used to go to bowling alleys. I did a show one time, Busy Bone show, Harpo's.
Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Yeah, we were on the roster for that. But it's everything kind of started falling in place, and then 2008. When Myspace was really big.
Right, you were an unsigned artist.
Number
one.
Number one unsigned Detroit artist. ICP was number 2. My mom a few years ago brought me the proof, and I didn't realize at the time how big I was at the time, because when you do music as long as somebody like me, you can have ups and downs in your career, and you're still trying to climb that ladder. And I look back and I'm like, wow. But I was still in high school. And so yeah, really, really
Break that
crazy.
down for people. What does it mean exactly? Like being the #1 unsigned artist on MySpace.
MySpace was huge. I don't care what no one says, right? So MySpace was huge. And so what it means is like there's rankings, like so like as far as your followers, because you would post music on MySpace back then. And so I used to get hundreds and hundreds of messages, emails from people out of the country. And I don't know if they go by that, like, you know, the engagement or the views, the listening, and things of that nature. But it was really cool to see. Yeah. And it would change every so often, you know, the different, you know.
That's cool. So you were in the #1 unsigned artist on MySpace 2008.
Yes.
What is that motivating to you to do, and how is it helping your career progress?
I look back at it now and I'm like, I was there before, and I can really do this. And I still have the drive. I still have the hunger. I feel like a lot of people just try to be like other artists, and there's not a lot of like uniqueness left. And I have a really original style. Everything I write is truth. It comes from the heart. Like, I don't rap or sing about things and lie. I don't lie about who I am or what I have. Like, I think I'm inspiring. I can make you dance. I can make you cry. I can make you laugh. So whatever I got going on up here, I'll write it. And a lot of people think I'm funny. I don't mean to be. I just guess I have that like bubbly personality. But yeah, I've done hundreds and hundreds of shows. And
what's the most memorable show you've had?
Ooh, man, that's tough. I don't know if this place is still around, but maybe you would know. It's called the iRock in Detroit. I felt a lot of love there when I performed there, and that was like back in probably 2009 or 2010.
Cool.
A lot of love. And I also performed a lot at the Ritz. Man, I did hundreds of shows at the Ritz. Lots of love there. Lots of shows at the Emerald Theater. What was the other one? The Hayloft. The Hayloft in Mount Clemens, Harpo's.
Was there anybody that you got to run into or work with that really stood out to you in your time at that time?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So first of all, Jigsaw, because he was the first like group that I worked with. And then Critical Bill. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're like hip hop rock.
Oh.
They're really cool. In Detroit, they did a lot of stuff at the Hayloft, Emerald, Diesel. Yeah, Uncle Ill. Uncle Ill. He found me when I was in high school. Shout out Uncle Ill.
Cool.
Because he actually put me on a few of his songs. We did a couple projects, and then I started working with Ron Dada. Shout out Ron Dada, because I'm currently working with him and DJ Trendsetter on the Candyland album coming up.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So when your music, you're doing all these shows, you're performing and everything, did everything just kind of stay at a steady pace, or was there a moment where you had to like break off for a moment?
Oh yeah, I've been up and down a few times. I'm not gonna lie about that. I had some deaths. I had some things going on in my life, and like I'm the type of person that might quiet down a little bit, be by myself, get my thoughts together, and then just pop out of nowhere like she's back. And I'm focused right now on not doing that again, because I really want to, I really want my music to be heard. Like, I want to hit that success. And so I know that I got to, deal with my emotions naturally and things like that. I lost my mom last year.
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Thank you. And then, unfortunately, lost my brother in January of this year.
Wow.
So
you're going through a lot within relatively a small amount of time. This must have been. So for what was their impact for you, and
oh my gosh,
how have you been getting through everything?
So the impact. My mom was sorry. My mom was a huge fan, supporter. She could have been my manager. She really was that when I was like 15, 16, 17. Back when we were printing Light Scribe CDs and putting my photo on the front, selling the mixtapes, she made me magnets. She was so supportive. She loved my talent. She supported it. And huge impact. I remember one time, funny story, we were in Walmart, me and my mom. I was still a baby candy, like 17. And we were like shopping in different places, right? Different areas. All of a sudden I hear, "Candy girl, can you come to the front? Candy girl, can you come to the front? Your mom's waiting for you." Dude, I was cracking up. I saw my mom. I'm like, "No, you didn't." We had a great relationship. She passed unexpectedly. But yeah, and then my brother, love him, sweet soul. It's just, my mom passed from a supposed heart attack. My brother had a drug issue, and it's just, the whole thing's sad. I'm still processing it, you know.
Why do you say supposed, like, as far as a heart attack?
She was found, you know, unresponsive, and I personally know my mom, right? She was very stressed at the time, okay? High blood pressure, things like that. So, we're almost positive that's what it was. Yeah.
Right. So, obviously it's very hard to lose a support system like that. And is it helping you put that into the music, though? Like, bringing out the emotions into the music?
Absolutely. I have a song dedicated to my mom that I'm shooting the music video to next week. Shout out Golden Gambit that I recently connected with. I know you know who that is.
He's a cool cat.
He's going to do the video for that, for my mom's tribute, and that'll be released on YouTube. My brother's song is going to come after that, so they both have a tribute, and it definitely, the music, I feel like music helps heal, even though it still hurts, you know. It's a healthy outlet for me. I try to stay on the right path, you know what I mean? So
yeah, everybody finds a creative process that helps just whatever's inside of you contribute that to the outside world. If people relate to it, cool. If they don't, it's still enough for you to have it for yourself, where it's like, I appreciate what I've accomplished or done, or listening back to it. As far as artistry now, what's been the most difficult parts about pursuing your career? What's been the hurdles, and what's been the parts that have been the good times of it so far?
So I think one of the hardest things for me as an independent artist, still trying to get heard, still trying to put my music out there, is I'm a single mom, head of household. I have two beautiful girls that I love. Shout out Faith and Hope. Like, amazing, talented. I love those girls with all my heart, right? But I still, you know, I have to work. I have bills to pay. I got to take care of a whole house. So I think the time management is something that I'm still learning how to do as an artist. I'd say that'd probably be the most difficult part, is like making sure I have the time to pursue this career.
Yeah, I mean, managing a family, singularly, managing a family and then freaking having to work on music sounds crazy sometimes. You go have a 10-hour shift, whatever the case might be, and then you get off work and it's like, now you have family. When's the time for art and music, you know?
Yeah. But I also noticed that if I don't give, you know, time to my music, I start to lose myself because it's a part of me, you know. It's what I know, you know. And so, yeah, I have to make time for that. And I have a pretty nice schedule right now. I recently had to quit a job I was working at and go start a new one to, you know, maneuver around making music and taking care of the kids and having more time, because I am serious about this. Yeah.
Let's wait for that beeping to stop. I don't know what's going on out there. Hamilton?
Richard Hamilton, baby, my favorite Pistons player.
Yeah. We're back on. We're talking about your jersey right now.
Yes.
Richard Hamilton, one of the best mid-range shooters to ever play the game. Helped win us a championship in 2004. Legendary.
I've had this for years. He is my favorite player. Shout out Richard Hamilton. I mean, I had to represent today.
What makes Richard Hamilton your favorite basketball player?
Oh, my goodness. Man, he was the best. On the dream, when he was playing, I swear we had the dream team. We had Chauncey Billups.
Yep.
We had Richard Hamilton.
Tayshaun
Prince.
Sheed.
Rasheed Wallace. Ben Wallace.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, I feel like that was a major time in Detroit basketball. It was really fun, and it was just, I always call it the dream team. Like, I thought, and I always felt like he played the best. That was my personal opinion.
He was consistent. Yeah. He was competent. He was like, just, you knew if you got it to him on that mid-range left wing or right wing, he was going to sink it every time. Can you pull on that microphone a little bit more?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There check. There's a hair.
Perfect right there.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, his mid-range percentage was probably up there. I don't know about his threes jumpers, but like he had just this very solid form. You just knew he was just one of those players that if he didn't have the ball in his hands, he would still figure out how to make a play. Just running through screens, just really figuring out a way to get open and just nailing it.
Yeah, rarely missed. And I remember watching the Pistons games from my mom's house, and at the end it used to be like, you could call in and guess who the player of the game was. Do you remember that?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. I used to always call and be like, Richard Hamilton.
You knew it was Rip every single time. He's kind of making waves back in Detroit again. So if you could possibly run into him, because I know he's back here doing something.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, get your jersey signed. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Rip, man, sign the jersey, damn it.
Come on, let's go.
Come on the podcast.
Come on.
Talk about you used to work with CDs, right?
Oh, yes.
And now we're in the digital era. Talk about CDs versus kind of the digital era, the discrepancies between the two.
Man, I'm a huge fan of CDs. Mm-hmm. And some people will be like, oh, that's old school. You have to move to, online, internet, social media. And I just don't feel that way because a few reasons. One of the reasons is, as an artist, when you do a project, whether it's a mixtape, a single, an album, and you have that project in your hands, it's an accomplishment. It's a solid accomplishment. And I remember, like, I used to have so many CDs, and they would have booklets. It would talk about the artist, the who was on the project. It just it felt different than just, hey, here's my song, I'm gonna stream it on all platforms.
Yeah, man, I was just having that conversation with my girlfriend like 2 weeks ago. We were at the park and there was this guy playing some song like 200 feet away from us.
Okay.
And on his speaker or whatever the hell the case might be. And I was listening to it and I was like, man, that song's fire. I'm about to pull out my fucking Shazam and figure out what song this is. And then I stopped myself and I was like, you know what? Maybe that this is just supposed to be that moment where like I'm hearing the song and that's it. And then I started thinking to myself, I think we have too much accessibility now.
Man.
I think we have too much accessibility with like we get to pick whatever song we want to listen to whenever, watch whatever movie we want. Now you got DoorDash, you can order whatever food you want whenever you want. Yeah. And I was like, I don't think it's good to have this much accessibility. It makes you like more just compulsive, impulsive, and less conscious of your decisions because something is just so readily available to you. So even with CDs, it's like that same concept of like now I can go on Apple Music and just switch whatever I want. But back in the day when I used to pull like a Red Hot Chili Pepper CD, this was the experience for today. It's not like I was gonna go put on put the CD inside my my player and go to track 2, then take that out, put Dave Matthews Band in, take that out. Now I'm putting Tupac in, take that out. Now I'm playing. It was like whatever was in the compartment for that day is what I'm gonna listen to for that day.
Amazing.
And now it's like you got all these options, and I do feel like it throws off some type of like meaning and message and depth behind what you're actually intaking, you know what I mean?
And don't get me wrong, like it's a great way for exposure.
Yeah.
But then again, then it makes it too easy for everyone. And I just remember my sales were way better when I was selling CDs than they are right now. And honestly, it's hard as an upcoming artist to make money off just streams, especially when you're going through a distribution company, but then when your album or your single drops, everybody wants to go to the free, Spotify or YouTube. How many people are actually buying it on Apple or, you know what I mean? But that's why the exposure is so important, and I'm working on that. I'm networking with people and.
Yeah, my friend, we had a few artists that come on here. Like we've had Isham come on here, and we've had Nick Speed Entertainment.
I've seen it.
They're both selling like mini discs and records and
nice.
stuff to this day. They have like an online warehouse where it's like, I think people are doing it more so of the support And because it's cool as fuck, like you said, to just have that whole story.
Yeah.
Like those records come with like a whole fucking package and a whole story behind them.
And
So
some people still ride around with CD players. I do,
Yeah.
like in the car. And so when my album drops, I will have CD copies, hard copies. So that is definitely on the map still for me.
yeah, just diehard fans are gonna buy them.
Yeah. I just remember going to shows in the 2000s or 2000s, 2010s, 2006, whatever, and selling all my CDs like that.
No.
It just felt different.
You can still do that though. I think
You can
people are still buying hard copies and merchandise and all that stuff just to support the artist. Plus, some people are still like that. They like that.
The physical
Yeah,
copy.
the physical copy. It means something more to them. I bought my dad like for his birthday a few weeks ago. I bought him Johnny Walker 100-year anniversary. And it's cool because it comes in a box, and when you unfold it, it literally shows the entire like timeline of Johnny Walker's beginning to now,
That's so sweet.
and like historical events that were happening around the time that the bottle was being made. And I don't know, it was cooler to buy him that versus like just buying him $100. I mean, like a black label bottle for some reason. I was like, this means more. It's like
That
cooler.
is so cool.
You know, Eminem too. I was thinking about Eminem this morning. I was thinking
Yeah.
about how, like, I was thinking about The Way I Am for some reason when that song dropped and I seen it on MTV for the first time. It was like black and white. He's standing over a ledge. You're like, what the fuck is happening? Who is this dude? What's going on? Like the whole story and the way that they put
Man.
it together is engraved in my system. I'll never forget that. But I get like right now, I can watch every music video I've ever watched for the past 10 years. I do not remember a single moment of any of those music videos. I don't remember the impact of them. I barely remember the songs. I don't
Yeah.
remember anything visually stimulating about it. But for some reason, Eminem's presence at that time was like irreplaceable.
It was crazy. He
Yeah.
was heavy, and oh my goodness, that's funny because I was just listening to that song the other day.
For real?
It still hits you a certain way, right? Like when you hear it, kind of takes you back a little bit. Be like,
Yeah.
wow, like his upcoming, his story was incredible.
Did you get inspired by him at all when you were growing up?
Definitely. Yeah. Like I said, I grew up really loving R&B, soul, love songs, like. But as far as hip hop, Eminem definitely, Twista, because I liked his the way how fast he could rap, right?
Yeah.
That inspired me, and I like It's so tough when people ask me this
I mean,
question.
Busta Rhymes has to be there.
Oh
'cause
my goodness.
Similarities to Twisted.
Missy Elliott was cool too, man. When it comes to music videos, like creativity is like a 10 with her. I really liked her. She was very authentic, very unique, just like Busta Rhymes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
As of late, when you're paying attention to the music scene in Detroit and just mainstream, what's been some people that you do look at and appreciate the sounds that are coming from them?
Ooh, this is tough. So I will say this, because it all depends on like what kind of vibe we're bringing. Is it like what kind of like, as far as like club music and party music and things of that nature. I've been listening to a little bit of Skiller Baby. Okay, I like his Gorgeous song, his Babe You Know You Fine. I like that. I like that vibe. It's cool, you know. Actually, speaking of Detroit artists, me and a couple friends, we went to catch the last Pistons game this year. Sada Baby was there. Shout out Sada Baby. He was there in the front.
Dope.
Cool guy. He seems real cool. But as far as like influences,
Do you think Skilla Baby's approach to like having mainstream music for women is like working? Like, do you appreciate the sounds that he's bringing?
I do. I feel like he's for women, and I haven't heard a ton of his music. I've heard a few, but he seems. Hopefully, I'm right about that. You know.
I mean, that's what he's aiming for. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems really cool. If I could tell you an artist that I'm similar to, though, I don't know if you know who Dax is.
Mm-mm.
You need to look him up. DAX. Amazing. He's very sentimental. He's very emotional. He talks about life lessons. He talks about, time. Very creative. He's not from Detroit.
Mm.
I don't know what state he's from, but I would love to collaborate
Is he
with
mainstream?
Dax. He's self-made. He's not on the radio.
Oh, independent.
But if you look him up, he's very independent. Yeah. I also like Russ.
Oh, Russ is cool.
Russ is really cool.
Yeah.
I like him and Dax.
Russ really breaks down the entertainment industry for upcomers too. So he's like that's the craziest person who really exploited the industry and what it is and still was able to thrive even after he did that. Fucking cool story behind it.
Man, very cool. It's very cool to see like other influences like that, it's like, okay, I can do this, you know. It's a lot of work.
You know what I talked to recently that was crazy is that girl who made, do you remember Raquel, In a Dream I Love song?
In a Dream
Yeah.
I Love.
That girl, yeah.
Yes.
I
you
messaged
can
her like
find
last year to come on the podcast. She's like, yes, I'm down 100%. You know what I'm going to ask her when she comes on?
What?
Okay, so In a Dream is an awesome song,
I
obviously.
love 90s music, man.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
But that song in particular, what I wanted to ask her was like, did you write the lyrics and the meaning and feeling to that song, and did they pop it? Did they make it pop? Like make it like a pop song?
Right.
Or did you write it like really coming from your heart where it was like soft piano and really making it like beautiful? Because if you listen to the lyrics, she says, never in my dreams I thought I'd be with you. You're often on my mind. I always love you. When I close my eyes just to see your face, I wish this were real, but I'm still dreaming. That's like actually crazy to think about those lines. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like really,
It's
really,
deep.
yeah, it's very deep. But like when they make it a pop song, you're almost like, yeah, fuck yeah, like you're partying and
Yeah,
dancing.
it had that 90s. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
It had
dun,
horns
dun,
and
dun,
crazy
dun,
shit going on. But it's like you really listen to it, man. It sounds like a heartbroken ass girl
Yeah.
that lost like the love of her life, and the only way she can be with him is in her dreams.
They could have she could have definitely went to her producer and been like, I got this song, and then he could have like came up with the instrumental, and she kind of like switched it up.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna ask her when she comes on.
That's cool that you reached out to somebody like
Yeah,
that.
hell
I
yeah,
love
bro.
90s music. We didn't talk about that, but aside from the whole R&B love song and hip hop and rap, like I love 90s vibes.
What's your
Oh my
favorite
goodness.
90s portion of time? Like, what's
Oh,
your favorite
man.
songs that came out of the 90s?
Ooh, I was a big NSYNC fan. Okay, shout out NSYNC. Backstreet Boys are cool, but I
Yeah.
really liked NSYNC. Definitely, Beastie Boys are cool. I liked who's the guy that sings? And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think that song was fire.
I don't even know who that is.
I was big on Macarena too. Macarena at every like family event. We were doing a Macarena. I was a kid.
The Macarena's making a comeback.
Is it?
They're remixing it. Yeah, shit's been out.
That's crazy. Put me on the remix.
If there was any Detroit artists that you could work with right now or collaborate with, who are some people that you would actually want to work with?
So independent or mainstream? Either way. Ooh.
Everything's a possibility these days.
Everything is a possibility. Can I pick more than one?
Yeah.
Obviously Eminem.
Me too, Eminem.
Yeah, we're definitely similar in some ways. Very, very driven, very emotional. We tell stories about our life. We're not just out here just saying whatever, you know. Obviously him. And then I would say as far as like the party vibe, I really do think Skilla Baby's cool. Sada Baby, Skilla Baby. They're like best friends, aren't they?
Yeah, they're brothers,
Yeah.
pretty much.
You know what? That is such a, and I'm so sorry. That is
No, I
such a
mean,
tough question. I honestly would
Skilla
have
Baby
to.
and Sada Baby is a great answer.
I
mean,
really should. I should have brainstormed this. I didn't think about this question.
those are
I'm
both
sorry.
close friends of mine, so it's very easy for
Yeah.
them to see this and just be like, okay.
You know what? I'm just saying, put me on because
One
we
time-
can make a hit.
A long time ago when I was working with me and Sada were working together, we had to delay a shoot, so I pulled up to the condo that Sada and Skilla were at, and we literally just sat and watched Ghostbusters 2 for like
Dude,
2 hours and shit.
that kind of vibe is awesome.
It was chill, but it was also very much like, bro, why the fuck are we watching Ghostbusters 2 right now?
That's how I am though. Like speaking of like old school, like Good Burger or the original Good Burger movie
yeah,
is
fire.
my movie. Like my dad, shout out to my dad. He would tell you that whenever I would go to his house to visit him, we'd go to Blockbuster. Remember Blockbuster was popular. He'd be like, what do you want this time? I'd be like, Good Burger.
Yeah.
Next weekend, what do you want? Good Burger. He's like, you want this every time. I'm like, Dad, that's my movie. And you know they had the Good Burger 2 come out.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
I cooked Good Burgers at the house, and me and the kids watched the movie. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like the original.
The original was fire. Me and my brother,
Yeah.
we were the same tip. Like, we watched Good Burger growing up like 1,000 times, and then we watched Good Burger 2, and we're like, God damn. Like, I kind of watched, like, God damn it. Why'd you guys have to, like, make it all goofy and, like,
You know
they
what?
put a bunch of Instagram celebrities in it. I was like, what the fuck is
I
this?
swear the originals are always the best.
Yeah, but this was something where they could have made it like the original,
Yeah.
but they just totally went into this very slapstick, like unrealistic approach. Good Burger 1, like it was a little unrealistic in some circumstances, but Good Burger 2 is just totally unrealistic and totally just all over the place. There was the funniest people in that movie was his son that looked like him.
That was really cool, actually.
Yeah, the Ed Jr., that guy was funny.
That was really cool.
But yeah, I don't know. Part 2s of everything sucks these days. Like,
Yeah.
it's very hard to find something.
Honestly, I watched it and I don't remember most of it.
Good Burger 2, the only one I remember is Ed Jr. That was the only motherfucker I remember from that entire thing.
But part 1, fire.
How do you feel about the female music scene right now? Do you feel like it's easy to enter and be a part of it, or do you feel like it's very segregated?
Okay, you want my honest opinion
Yeah,
about
that's
this?
the whole point of a podcast.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of it's the same and they're all talking about the same thing. Right? Really raunchy. Okay, I'm different than that. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time and it's coming from a pure place when I was a kid. You know, telling my story or making people dance or whatever. I don't get explicit like that. And I won't call out like any names because respectably there are a lot of talented female artists and they do good, but like I don't necessarily agree with like talking about, you know,
nudity and
you know what I'm saying? Like on every song, I don't think that's necessarily talent. And then as far as like,
well, they're just what they're doing is it's like what everybody does when they want to lure a new fan, and they just use whatever is the most explicit thing to get your attention.
And see, if I did that, I could do that. I could easily do that, and you know, but then would I be true to myself? I wouldn't be true to myself. So I feel like when I do get that final exposure where I'm actually feeling like, okay, I'm reaching some success. When I do get there, I want to do it authentically. And I want people to know who Candy Girl really is. Yeah, I'm cute, cool, and sexy, but I just won't get explicit. I won't get too explicit. Yeah.
Right. It's always the artist's dilemma at the end of the day. If they sacrifice their integrity, there's a chance they could get a higher rate of exposure, which boosts their career at a way faster rate.
Exactly.
So you have to make that decision. Like, if I go beyond my ethics and morality to do things I normally wouldn't do to become bigger, or would you rather stay where you're at and really never move forward as far as your career,
just take
or take
longer.
a really, 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 really long time? Like, that's kind of the way it usually works.
Exactly.
There are some people who are super talented gems, like just beyond this world talented, that have the ability to do whatever the fuck they want to do, the way they want to do it, and succeed. But most people are using those little boosters in order to move forward. They
really are.
You know?
Yeah.
Whether it's males do it too. Males, it's like they use a lot of beef-related instances to boost their career, or they'll over dramatize violence in so many different types of ways. And women, like you said, it's sexuality that they use to boost their careers majority of the time.
I feel like maybe I should just do something silly.
You could do that too. The beauty of it is the internet gives you the availability to try out a billion different things, and whatever niche sticks. Look at that one Spider-Man guy that stands out in the streets, and he literally like
in Detroit.
Yeah, I think he's from here, and he literally just like responds to people sending him like money and stuff like that. Like, oh, thank you, and he'll just keep repeating these things. It's like, who the hell knew that this guy would get 10,000 views per stream?
I know there's a guy in Detroit that dresses up in costumes over by Cashew or whatever, but I don't know if we're talking about the same person.
No, we're not talking about the same guy. We're not talking about the same guy. There's a lot of people who do it, and there is one in Detroit. But basically, there's a TikToker. He just stands in the street in the city, and he has his camera just facing him, and he has thousands of streamers, and all he does is respond to people sending him money. So like, if you send him a heart that's worth 10 cents, he'll be like, "Oh, thanks for that heart," and then somebody will send him a thunderball and be like, "Oh, I'm shocked by that," and like, that's his fucking niche. Like, literally,
he found his niche. Exactly.
Yeah. And it sounds crazy to us, but there's a niche for fucking everything. So as long as you push in a direction and figure out where your target audience is and exploit that, then you're gonna be fine. What's as far as your music's concerned, talk about the songs that mean the most to you, and you would want people to go like peep right after this interview, like right away, just go watch this song.
For sure. So before I give any suggestions, my older music is on SoundCloud, so that's like where you can hear the Candy Girl from high school. So that's Candy Girl Detroit is my SoundCloud. If you want to hear like some upbringing stuff, right? But as far as like what's streaming now, like I do have Candy Girl Run.
Run is fire.
Thank you.
No.
Appreciate that.
That came out like 2023, right?
It's been a couple years.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's been a couple years.
But it's going on the album.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, because I feel strong about that song. I do feel strongly about that. So Candy Girl Run, and then I have Candy Girl Sweat featuring another producer that I worked with, Pavix. Now that is like a motivational workout song. He did an excellent job on the instrumental. So yeah, look up those two. But yeah, the album Candyland, I want to make sure this gets out there. It's coming within the next couple months.
It's a clever name.
It's gonna have a lot of different pieces of me in it. Okay, it's gonna have my story in it. It's gonna have how I got my name. Okay, it's gonna have a couple instrumentals were made by DJ Trendsetter, and then I also have another amazing instrumental by Ron Dada, my current producer, and man. Even I'm excited. I'm very excited for this project.
When you say that the project is going to tell some of your story, what's some highlighted areas that you're really going to dive into?
I'm going to dive into like what we talked about as far as like how I got my name, how long I've been doing it, and I'm very confident in the album. Like my confidence is in some of the music where you can hear it. I'm like, I'm not stopping until I get there type of stuff. I talk about, not giving up. So I feel like even though it's about me, I feel like it can inspire other people. Yeah. And then there's some fun tracks on there too. There's some party tracks.
Dope.
It's a little bit of everything. There's like a heartbreak song on there. True experience.
Break down the heartbreak experience for us. Man,
so I've been single a few years, okay? And most people are like, how? Well, it's hard to find a good guy, first of all. I don't know if it's the area we're in or what, but in my experience the last few years, a lot of guys are all talk. And they'll build you up, they'll fall in love or whatever, and then just switch up on you. And so I have a song that's on the album called Small. That song is about that kind of situation where like you thought somebody really was down for you, and then they either just switched up on you, or you never hear from them again, or whatever. But I tell my story from one of my experiences.
How long does it usually take before a guy switches up?
I think you'll know within a couple months. Sometimes quicker than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in my experience, I've also dealt with guys who want to date me, and then they're like, I don't think I'm good enough for you. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Damn.
Yeah. So now my standards are a lot higher. So I got that going for me. I'll make better decisions, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm using this time to focus on me, my music career, because I used to always be with somebody. It was like a thing. Like I just had a hard time being alone. I'm okay with it now, though, because it's like I have goals I still have to accomplish, As far as my mom's passing and my brother's passing, like I'm boxing now, and that helps me with, that's like a therapy for me. I like to box. Yeah. That's another thing I do on the side.
Yeah, I seen a video of it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. Like if anybody is going through something out there and you need a healthy outlet and you don't do music, I would consider boxing. Like get into a class. The place I go to is very supportive. They're like a family. And if you don't go there for a few weeks, they'll hit you up like, everything okay? We're family. We're here for you. Come back. Macomb Boxing Club, shout out to them. That's where I go.
What's been the most difficult parts of being like a single mother, just in general?
Honestly, the financial aspect is really big. It's really big. Just balancing out work, pets music.
Too. Damn.
Yep.
And the pets.
Cat, dog, rabbit.
That's and a rabbit, son? How do they not eat the rabbit?
Oh, I keep them separated.
Wow. I would get rid of the rabbit for sure.
No, he's a sweetie. I actually adopted him. I adopted him like 4 years ago, and he gets his freedom. He gets to be out of his cage and run around a lot. So
That's dope.
yeah. But no, I would say as far as like being a single mom, the financial aspect, it's tough when you're a struggling artist, and it's like, man, if I wasn't working, I could be so much further with my music if I spent more time. But it's like, no, I have to work.
Yeah.
I have mouths to feed. I got
Unless you get a sugar daddy, pretty much you're stuck.
You know what? You're right. I've never done it.
A sugar daddy.
But you know what?
My friends that were artists had sugar mamas, which was crazy to me.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Really.
I was like, I never understood. I had an experience like that before where I didn't know it was happening, but it was happening. But I didn't know it was happening. I didn't know that she was getting me stuff because she was trying to like keep me or what.
That's so funny.
But I didn't know. I was just experiencing it. Like,
You're just like going with it. Yeah.
But then one day when I left, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I think she thought she had to do that to keep me. When
like
she
something's
didn't.
going on here.
Yeah, but my friends would literally hook up with ladies to get shit, like pay my bills, take me out, and I'm like, why? I don't understand how a woman would do this. Is it that hard to find a guy?
Right,
to, like,
it
hook
seems
up with?
backwards when you say that, right? Because
Yeah.
like I'm the type of woman, like I want to be spoiled, I want to be taken care of. If you really want to date me or be with me, and I need gas money, you should be able to fill my tank. And if you can't do that, I don't want it. But you also have to have a good personality.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of baggage, or I don't like angry men. Like, gotta be cool with the music career. You gotta be supportive. You know, I do get a lot of attention from other men, so you know, and it's different when you're a musician, a female musician. I think
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very for men. They're almost like some men don't want even their wives to have jobs, or if they do have a job, they don't want it to be in entertainment, because when they know when you're in entertainment, there's a bunch of guys surrounding you at all times.
That's so true.
You know,
Yeah.
producers like free studio time, but you got to suck my balls. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like to mix business with pleasure at all.
yeah, you can't.
Yeah, no.
Is there anything you want to announce or talk about before we sign off?
Definitely. Should I look at you or look over
Oh, the
here?
camera's cool if it's announcing a project.
All right. So, add my Instagram, Detroit's Candy Girl, and then look for the Candyland album. It's just Candyland, coming soon. I have an original website as well. It's www.candygirldetroit.com, where I'll be posting like upcoming shows, music video releases, things of that nature. Definitely, if anybody wants to book or collab, you can reach me. I'm on Instagram most of the time.
Sure.
Yeah. I have TikTok and all that too, but
Do you have like an absolutely fire verse that you could spit for us? Or
my goodness.
Or is this not the time? It's up to you.
Oh man, I'm gonna save it for the album.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I got a lot of surprises up my sleeve.
For sure.
Definitely.
Well, it was very cool having you on. It was good to talk about the 90s, 2000s, the 10s, and the 20s with you. Seems like you have a wealth of knowledge of music, and the integrity that you have behind pursuing your career is really awesome. You're not sacrificing who you are for to jump the line, essentially. It was really fun. Like you said earlier, you do have a very bubbly, fun personality. So I do how some people could be attracted to rocking with you and just listening off of the love. Hopefully people, really tap into the tape and check it out.
I appreciate you. It was super fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out Parallel Sound Studio for hosting these productions. Hilo Visual shoot these productions. Rip Hamilton.
Yes, let's
Come
go.
sign the jersey. We're out.
Man, Detroit Pistons, by the way, get at me. I've been trying to reach out to them to do a song for them.
Make it happen.
I want to do it.
You got to make
Let's
it.
do it. We got
and
to
then
make it happen.
You do it with GMAT Cash. And
He's funny.
Yeah.
I like him.
if you do it
I
with
forgot to
GMAT,
mention him. He's
yeah,
cool.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
Make it and then blow it up, and then they'll reach out to you guys like, all right, let's do it.
Man.
For sure.
Amazing.
We're
Thank
out.
you so much.
Peace.
Peace.
Cool. Let's do a photo real quick.
Yes, sir.